Hellos! Welcome back to Transform with Ryan, where I do pick a card readings to help you transform your mind, heart, and soul. And in today's reading, we are going to be looking at your future spouse's love language. So let me know if you, in the comments down below, know what your love language is. It was this book that I discovered years ago to help me actually build better relationships with my family members. But it gave me so much insight in regards to like my dating style and what I need out of a partner. And I think it would be really helpful for you to know the same if you haven't done it already. So it's you can find out what your love language is by taking a little quiz on the website. Just go on Google and type in 5 love languages, and you can discover your love language. So you can find the ways in which you can better connect with people. Now, in this reading, though, we're going to be focusing on your spouse, your future spouse's love language. We're going to use these decks here to try and determine that language. And just to help you understand, there are 5 main types of love languages. So the first one is acts of service. The second one is receiving gifts. The third one is quality time. The fourth one is words of affirmation, and the fifth one is physical touch. All right, so we're going to try to determine which one of those is your future spouse's primary love languages. Let's get started. All right, let's take a look at their energy. All right, and that should give us some clues as to your future spouse's love language. I love this topic so much, because it's the love language. But because I think really a lot of relationships fail because people just aren't willing to truly understand their partner. So we have rest and rejuvenation, strategy, and happy family. So really, I'm actually getting quality time here as the love language for your future spouse, okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is because we have strategy, and strategy to me means using your time efficiently and wisely, okay? It's not about being wasteful, it's about being focused, very intentional, and very purposeful. So what I'm sensing here with your future spouse is that they're quite a busy bee, all right? So they are that go-getter type of personality. They love getting things done. They like to be actively moving. They really get a lot out of feeling like they accomplish something with their day, okay? And, in their way, they like getting tasks done. I'm sensing that they like checking things off on their list of things to do, all right? Now, because they're so busy, they're also very intentional about their rest time, okay, and when they take a break. So I get that your future spouse is someone that has really an intention of maintaining a work-life balance. And in order to do that, they need to be pretty good at time management and understanding their energy. And so that's why I say quality time is really important for them, because they have things they want to do. They have this knowing when they need to rest and take a break. And so everything else, including your relationship with them, has its time and space and energy as well. And quality time is all about being focused, giving your undivided attention to the other person. Okay, so that's their love language. And that's how they show that they care about you. They show that they care about something, anything, is by giving it that wow, undivided attention. The other thing I'm seeing here is family, this happy family card. And so definitely I feel, from my experience, and perhaps from the experience of your future spouse as well, is that the family that is able to connect with each other and connect with each other by way of paying attention to each other, getting to know each other, having meaningful conversations. That's all part of giving quality time. And that will strengthen the relationship within the family, within the different people of the family unit. So I'm definitely sensing here that quality time is their main love language. Now let's see more about how they speak to you, how they show you that they love you. Let's try to get into some specifics here using this lovely pink deck. I haven't used these cards in a while. I should like knock them to cleanse them out because I left them here in the US while I was in Bali in Asia. So they were calling and screaming at me to be a part of this reading. So thank you, deck. Let's see what else you can tell us about group number one's future spouse's love language. Okay, so we have the Hammer, Passion, ooh, lovely, Healthy Choices, Girl Talk, and Healing Heart. Okay. So what I'm seeing here with this Girl Talk is they definitely enjoy heartfelt communication. So they love speaking about things that are very personal to them. They love speaking about their values, what they're working on even, right? They have this desire to really share ideas. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they were an air sign. So a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius, okay? Because those three signs are known to be a bit chatty, right? Because air is all about communication, knowledge, information. And so that's what they like to do. They like to share things with the people that they love about what they've learned, what they're doing. And also I'm seeing here how they're feeling because we have Passion, Healing Heart, and Healthy Choices. Okay? And so what I'm seeing here is that they actually have a very small circle of who they trust to really share their innermost thoughts, innermost desires, wishes, struggles, even. They're very selective about that, okay? And so that's how you know that they care about you, that they love you, that they respect you, that you're an important part of their life, is that they share things with you that they don't really share with anybody else. Yeah, they like to chat, yeah, they like to talk, but they don't actually go very deep into their life with just anybody. They're going to be very selective about who they share their innermost thoughts with and innermost feelings. They are also very flirtatious. They know how to use their words. That's what I'm getting here with this Passion card, is they know how to compliment someone. They have a lot of charisma and this innate magnetism, mainly through the words that they say. Okay? I'm getting a lot of communication coming through just in general, like I mentioned before. I'm seeing here that they learned a lot from past mistakes, all right, with this Healing Heart and Healthy Choices. That's why they're so particular about how they spend their time, is because they felt like in the past they've wasted a lot of their time. Maybe they even felt like in some relationships they wasted time and effort. And so it's important to them that if they're going to be focusing on something, if they're going to give their time to something, that it be worth it. And the way that they figure this out as well and how they reinforce it is to have that constant ongoing communication and those periods of time where there is quality time, where they can focus all their attention on one task, on one person. What else? I'm seeing here with the Hammer, the word that's actually coming through for me is critical. So they can be a bit hypercritical. So with this Healthy Choices and with this Hammer, this combination of cards here, what I'm seeing is that, they've been through a lot and they want to share their wisdom, they want to share their knowledge for the betterment of other people. So that's the intention. But sometimes the way it comes out is as if they're criticizing somebody, okay? And they think that they're being helpful, but sometimes maybe the ways that they say things is not always the most well received, okay? Some people, I've learned this myself in my relationships is sometimes when people are sharing their problems with you or they're like complaining to you about something, they simply just want to get it off their chest. They just want to share this and release it by talking out loud about it. What they're not always asking for is your advice, is your opinions. Sometimes when people are upset about something, they just need to talk it out, okay? And they're not really in that phase or of the journey or that step of the process where they want to actually begin problem solving, where they want advice, where they want help to figure out how to create a solution to their problem. They're not always in that space. But this person, sometimes they don't realize, okay, when is the time to just listen and when is the time to help and offer advice, okay? So they love to talk, they love to have that quality time, but because they have a lot of knowledge to share and they want you to have a great life, they often try to troubleshoot with you and help you fix your problems. They might even be a bit of like a fixer-upper kind of personality if they haven't quite fully healed these past relationships. So what I'm seeing here also with healthy choices with the self-love and self-care is they have a lot of knowledge. They've done a lot of self-improvement work, self-development, self-discovery. And so they're very aware of healthy habits for themselves, okay? I'm also seeing that they know how to assert their boundaries. Okay, that's part of self-love, self-care is knowing when to say no, knowing when to accept new tasks, new projects, and you know, agree to do certain favors for people or tasks for people. They know when to draw that line, okay? And because they're so good at saying no, they're able to have this time for rest and rejuvenation. They're able to, whatchamacallit, organize their schedule so that they're able to tend to everything that is part of their responsibilities, including your relationship. Sometimes what they don't know is other people's boundaries. So that's part of the issue here with the healthy choices and the hammer, is that they don't understand when not to push. Okay, does that make sense? They're kind of like an eager beaver kind of personality where it's just like they want to help, they want to do the right thing, but sometimes they put their foot in their mouth. Sometimes they dig a hole and then dig themselves even deeper in the hole with the things that they say without thinking. I think that's why I'm getting so much of that air energy because that air energy sometimes it likes to move quite fast, okay, without quite thinking things through. Air and fire like to move really, really fast versus water and earth tend to move a bit slower. What I'm also seeing too with this hammer is they could even be an earth sign, particularly a Virgo. So we were talking about being critical and criticism, and that's one of the ways in which Virgo actually shows that they care about someone because they want the best for that person and they believe that that person can actually achieve their best. And so this criticism is at its core really sort of like them trying to give you helpful hints and tips and tricks on how things can go better for you, you know? But sometimes people just want to do things their own way, right? They just want to do things their own way, learn from experience versus someone just telling them what to do. It can come off sometimes as a bit condescending, which is one of the challenges here when it comes to Virgo's personality and how people receive that. And also with these sort of like know-it-all, like Hermione Granger. Y'all know Hermione Granger from the Harry Potter series, right? She knows a lot of things, but sometimes it just rubs people the wrong way when she just throws her knowledge and her expertise out there without being asked or invited to do so, all right? Now let's find out more about their love language. kind of how you can work with it. Okay, let's kind of see how you can work with their love language. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, the Fool. Okay, I'm already starting to see very clearly what this is about. The Knight of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Lovers. Wow, how appropriate that the Lovers card comes out, right? When we're talking about your future spouse and we're doing like a love reading here. Ha! Love it! Love these coincidences. Or are they? Ooh, synchronicities. So with the Fool and the Page of Swords, I'm definitely seeing that you have to really approach a lot of how they behave in a very playful, childlike manner. Okay, and always come back to ground zero. Like, sometimes they just can't help themselves with offering unsolicited advice, and you just kind of have to humor them, and you just probably have to repeat to them over and over and over with this Fool card, with this Hammer card, this Knight of Coins, a little stubborn energy right there. This Page, again, youthful, immature, still learning kind of energy. You just have to kind of indulge them and remind them, like, hey, this is one of those times where I am just communicating how I'm feeling. I'm not really in the mindset or the energetic space, emotional space to really problem solve or receive any advice or strategies right now. I just need to release these emotions by talking it out. Okay, you just kind of need to remind them of that that's your process, and don't hold it against them when, again, in their mind, they're just trying to be helpful. All right. Now, with the Two of Swords, what I'm seeing here is you just have to also honor that even though they're super smart, they're super book smart, they have a lot of knowledge in there, that sometimes they're a little bit blind to how their actions and the words they say are affecting others. I'm getting the sense here that they're not the type of person where it's like, think before you speak. Okay, I don't see that your future spouse has quite yet mastered that. They're more like a speak, and then deal with the consequences of what they're saying afterward, which might not always be pleasant. With the Lovers card, I'm really just getting that reinforcement that, whatever difficulties that you experience within your relationship or misunderstandings, you really are destined to be together. I think that's such a cute message, that there's this beautiful complement between the two of you where they love this quality time. Maybe you even love to receive quality time as well as part of your receiving love language, and it really complements your nature, and you do like that quality time. You do like someone communicating and sharing their deepest thoughts and emotions with you. You like that deeper kind of connection, not just with your future spouse, but probably in general. Let me know if that resonates with you down in the comments below. But I'm seeing this very deep, profound connection here. I'm also seeing that you both have a lot to learn from each other, okay? Not only about life in general and about the other person, but about yourself, okay? Maybe you're not the best at asserting your boundaries, right? And so you can learn something about this person with asserting boundaries, and they'll give you plenty of practice, trust me, for you to let them know and vocalize where your boundaries are. So you can learn a lot from each other, from each other's habits, their behavior patterns, and you can adopt the best parts of it, okay? And then just, do your best to meet in the middle. The Page of Swords is someone that's eager to learn things, eager to expand their knowledge and understand the world and the people and the living entities within it. So again, a lot of learning between the two of you. You even have the Two of Swords, so even more again with the knowledge, the communication. Maybe even learning how to communicate in healthy ways with those closest to you is something you both can learn from each other and work with. So I love this reading for you. I hope you got some pretty good insight about your future spouse and their love language. And if you'd like to go on a journey of self-discovery, self-love, then I invite you to book a energy alignment call with me, because to attract your future spouse, to attract love in your life, it all begins with you loving yourself, accepting yourself, having patience with yourself. And then from there, you can extend it to others and call in these beautiful, loving, deep connections. So if that's something that interests you, you best believe you better book an energy alignment call with me now. The link to do so is in the box below. But until then, I will see you all again very soon. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, group number 2, let's find out more about your future spouse's love language. Okay, and just to recap, the 5 love languages are acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. All right, so we're going to start with the energy oracle here to find out more about their energy, and that's going to give us clues as to what their love language is. All righty. So let's get into, oh, I feel like that card totally wants to come out. That's why I did that. So let us do another good old shuffle. Okay, thank you. And I don't know why it wants to stay hidden for the time being till all the cards are out. Ooh, surprise and suspense. Okay. So the one that jumped out is Angel of Love. Ooh, okay, I'm getting like a hit on what this could be. Let's see what else. 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. Interesting. And we have Door to Value. Oh, wow. Okay. So what I'm getting here is there's actually sort of this combination of things happening, okay? What I'm sensing here is physical touch is one of the elements here. And there are some people that actually are kind of like, they have a primary love language and they have a secondary love language, okay? So the score, if you take that quiz on the website, is very, very close, if not equal, with 2 different types of love languages. So I'm sensing that your person here has actually 2 dominant love languages. We have physical touch, but we also have receiving gifts. That's what I'm getting here. And what's so interesting is we have this 7th chakra Archangel Uriel here that's kind of in the mix that feels like we need a little bit more detail. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards with that. But let's talk about physical touch here. So physical touch, it's about healthy touch. And what is the word? Consensual. There you go. Consensual touch. Okay? So physical touch could be something as simple as just holding hands, giving a hug, putting their arm around your shoulder or around your waist. They also, of course, enjoy intimacy, physical connection in that regard. That is another way that they show love, receive love. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they had a very healthy, what is the word? Why am I blanking? Well, we'll just say sexual appetite. But there's another way to say that. I guess sex drive? Maybe? I feel like there's a more classy way to say that. Let me know if you know that word down in the comments below, because my brain is totally having like a fart moment. So, with this Angel of Love, it's that healthy, consensual touch, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if they're that type of person too, like when you sit down, they put their arm on the back of your chair, or they put their hand on your thigh. But again, that's only if you're open to that type of touch. Like, you know, sometimes people are feeling some sort of way and they don't want to be touched. They want to be kind of left alone to process their thoughts, process their emotions, and that touch isn't as soothing, right? So you also have to be able to work with their love language and not feel sort of bullied into unhealthy forms of touch, yeah? Now, with the door to value with receiving gifts, so they're that type of person. I'm sensing earth sign now as I'm saying this out loud. I'm sensing very earth sign energy, right? They like tangible things. They like their body to feel good. They like nice things, not like shabby things. And I don't mean expensive. Now, just because I say nice things, that doesn't mean they like expensive things. They just like things that are of good quality, that are durable, that serve their function and their purpose, okay? I'm very earth energy again, like things have a function, things have a purpose, things have a place. Even though things may be in excess, the idea here is not really to waste. So they love receiving gifts, like little tokens of affection. That's a big part of their love language as well. Okay, now let's get some more information on this seventh chakra Uriel bit here. So we have the Ten of Wands, Fortitude, which is strength, and Death. Oh, interesting, interesting, interesting. So actually what I am getting here is that part of the reason why they have these two primary love languages of physical touch and door to value is because in their childhood, they were actually feeling like quite alone. And they didn't have that reassurance that things were going to be okay, that things were going to be provided for them. Like, I definitely feel that they had a period in their life and their youth where it was kind of like they had to fend for themselves. Maybe both of their parents were busy with work, or maybe they were just outright neglectful. And so they didn't get a lot of hugs and kisses and gifts in their life. Or it could actually be that in their past, gifts were used in substitute of physical signs of affection and love, right? Like, I don't get the sense that they were hugged enough as a child, as, you know, cliche as that sounds. That's part of the issue here, because we have this little fairy child, and we have this baby here, and this fairy child looks so, like, kind of lonely and sad and down. And look, eyes closed, eyes closed, eyes closed. So what I'm sensing is they're just not able to like see the love around them, okay? And you know, I don't know the whole details about the relationship with their parents, but you know, sometimes parents, they don't know how to show affection because maybe they weren't shown affection, or sometimes parents don't realize, you know, how their kid is struggling for lack of physical touch and affection, right? And then they kind of get a little bit deprived. You know, it's kind of like with babies. Babies need to be held, they need to be carried, they need to snuggle with their caregivers, right? That's how they get that security, that sense of love and caring. And I feel like that was sort of lost when they were a child. You know, it's interesting that these two figures almost look like twins, right? Like, look at the hair is identical, both eyes closed. I mean, the skin color is a bit different, but it's like two sides of the same coin. And so I'm getting the sense too, like the parents, again, they just didn't really know how to be parents. They knew how to provide for their kids, right? Or their child, if there's only one. They knew how to provide for the kids, shelter, food, clothing, but they kind of were lacking in that emotional department, that EQ, right? The emotional quotient. Very interesting, right? Okay, let's take a look here at some more about your partner's love language, your future spouse, your future partner. Let's get an idea about how they show love. So it's kind of like this compensation thing, right? Because they weren't given that physical affection as a child, and because, you know, maybe sometimes money was scarce, money was hard, they like to compensate for that by giving their partners a lot of physical touch, a lot of gifts. Now, whether or not that's your receiving love language, that's to be determined, right? With the quiz that you're going to take. So let's find out more about their love language. So we have stabbed in the back. There you go. Again, it feels like they really were kind of let down by the people in their life that were supposed to be their primary caregivers, the people that love them. Heart with a key. They're a bit guarded, a bit protected. We have clock. Kisses. How appropriate. We were just talking about physical touch as a love language, so they love giving kisses. That's for sure. The runner. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that your future spouse is a bit sensitive. They're a bit on guard. Oh, very interesting. I'm seeing like the story play out here. And that's why I love the tarot cards and oracle cards, is because the stories that the artwork tells to help us get an understanding of our energies and perhaps the energies of other people as well. So that's why I do this, even though my passion is coaching people through challenging times to becoming the best versions of themselves. I still do enjoy a good tarot reading and story that the cards tell. So what I'm seeing here, back to your future spouse, is that they are very, very sensitive and they're very on guard. And to be honest, it seems like it doesn't take a lot for them to kind of shut down and run away. Okay, they're so guarded. They've experienced some pain in the back, even perhaps some betrayal from their family members, close friends, a previous lover. And so they're very, very sensitive, and they do have some wounds that perhaps need a little bit of healing. And what I'm seeing here is with the clock and the runner is, again, it doesn't take them a long time to kind of ditch the situation, but it takes them a long time to trust. They're kind of like, what I'm seeing is like that scared rabbit or that scared mouse, where it's just like they're looking for all the signs of danger, all the signs of possible hurt and pain coming their way, and they are ready to bolt. And so you just have to be very careful with them. They're quite, again, sensitive is the word that I'm seeing. They're a bit skittish, and it's going to take some time for you to build that trust between you. And sometimes that time that you do with strengthening your relationship comes after marriage. I mean, nowadays most people get married kind of later on in their relationship. I don't know many people who get married within like 2 or 3 months of meeting their spouse. Most people I've seen like have engagements now that last like 2 years, 3 years before they actually have the official ceremony to get married. And so there's a lot of time in getting them to open up to you and getting them to trust you. Okay, so you definitely will need to be patient with them. What I'm getting though is that they do love you. They do have very, very strong feelings for you, and they do, like, in the deepest of parts of their heart and their soul, they know they want to be with you. Okay, I'm getting that energy with the heart, from this heart with a key card. It's just kind of like, again, it's like their mindset, their behavioral patterns, their habits from their upbringing. It kind of causes them to be a bit more reactive than responsive. All right, it's kind of just these ingrained behaviors within them that they might not actually even be aware of. Okay, it could even be a shadow aspect of them, because see here, listening to ego. So the ego is that part of us that's all about protecting ourselves. Okay, that fear of intimacy, fear of letting our guard down because of potential hurt feelings or disappointment that may happen if we do, right? So, but deep down they know they can trust you. It's just about getting into the habits of being able to trust you through their actions, by showing that they trust you through their actions. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Now, everybody has their shadow, these unconscious parts within us that have an effect and an influence on the circumstances of our life. And sometimes, they're kind of having negative effects on our life, okay? So, just like your partner, your future spouse has those things to deal with, you have your aspects as well. And if you're curious to explore them in a very healthy, safe, nurturing environment, then I encourage you to book an energy alignment call with me to see if we're an appropriate match to work through these in a coaching in a one-to-one setting, okay? I've dealt with a lot of my shadow energies, especially being, a minority, being non-binary, and being part of the LGBTQ community. Like, I've had a lot of beliefs that were ingrained in me and sort of behavioral patterns when it came to relationships that didn't really serve me, that I had to become aware of and I had to let go of and welcome in new practices, new behaviors, and new beliefs so that I can have a very nourishing life and have really good relationships with people as well. So I can get where your future spouse is coming from with being skittish and being on guard because of this fear of like being rejected. So I'm very familiar with that. And if you have some of that same energy as well, I'd love to assist you with releasing that and opening yourself up to all the many blessings that are coming your way in life. They're just waiting for you to accept them, okay? To let your guard down, open the door, and allow these blessings into your life, such as your future spouse. So in any case, let's find out more about your future spouse, okay? And their love language. Oh. Oh, wow. This card wants to come out. This is the Eight of Coins. And also this card was screaming to me. Ooh, King of Wands. So we were talking about earth signs. So they definitely could have a resonance or have a lot of planets in earth signs. So those are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, which makes sense with physical touch, receiving gifts. Here also with the King of Swords, I'm seeing that they can be in their head a lot. So perhaps they are an overthinker. They have a lot of brain power, okay? They could be maybe, I'm sensing some type of leader, like a manager. I'm sensing they could even be like a judge, even. So they have a lot of responsibility, is what I'm getting here. They have a lot of responsibility in their line of work. They could even be like a scientist, a researcher, a librarian, a teacher. I'm seeing a lot of that type of energy coming through. Oh, definitely they have something to teach people with this Eight of Coins now that I'm kind of taking a look at and feeling into the energy of this pile. So they could be a professor. They could be one of like even a coach or a mentor like me. Maybe they're even like a leader of their religious community or like a spiritual community as well. Um, I'm getting a sense too that they, with the physical touch, they have like a bit of a distortion when it comes to healthy relationship with touch. Like maybe they feel some guilt about it, like with their sex drive. Maybe they feel like it's too much, it's overwhelming. Maybe they feel it's kind of like perverse or excessive, and maybe they even have some shame about that. And even with the receiving gifts, I'm sensing that there is some shame around it. So they have a little bit to learn about this, the emotional dynamics. Like they get things on a very logical perspective, right? That touch is important to have in life, right? Healthy touch is. That's a way to strengthen bonds and connections with other people. Like even just hugging your friends, hugging your family members, like that carries a lot of strength and energy with it that goes towards solidifying that bond and that connection. But they also have this kind of like guilt around it, you know? Very, very interesting. Let's see if we can find out some more about that. We have the Three of Swords, the Star. Oh, that's beautiful. You all know I love the Star card. And the Hermit. I'm definitely seeing here that, even though they want a relationship, even though they love touch, they love receiving gifts, all that kind of stuff, there's this energy about them that you need to know of, that they can be at times a bit of a loner. And maybe they had a period in their life where they were a loner, they were that lone wolf, and they had that kind of energy of, I have to take care of myself. I have to do everything by myself because no one's going to be there for me, right? There was this distortion here of this connection and collaboration and with other people in the family unit and friendships and a relationship. There's a distortion of that from their past. And so they've retreated into themselves. Um, and, they've been a bit less open about it. And it's been in conflict because even though they desire this connection, it's been their wish, it's been their goal to finally have somebody that they can trust to be themselves with fully, 100%, not hiding anymore, not running away. Even though they have that wish and that desire, it's not very easy for them. They overthink things. It's like a word that you could have said, some kind of body language that you did. Like they think too much into it. It's like maybe one time they put their hand on your thigh while you're sitting down, and like you kind of brush it off, or you quickly get up and move and go pick something up or go do something. They kind of take that as a rejection, right? And they're overthinking it, instead of like maybe you had to pee right when they put their hand on your thigh, or you had to go grab something in the kitchen before you came back to sit down at the table while you're eating. Like, I don't know. They tend to overthink things, okay? And there's a time in their past where they thought they would be better off alone, that they didn't need relationships. But then I'm guessing you came into their life and sort of changed that thought in them, okay? You help them realize that they do truly desire that deep connection, but it seems like they haven't quite accepted it fully just yet. And perhaps that's why you're here. That's part of your purpose in your relationship with them, is to help them kind of come to terms, come to accept, find that beautiful balance with their desire for physical touch and receiving gifts, and help them build more healthy beliefs around these things. Oh, I love this reading. Oh my gosh, it went so deep. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And again, that offer to do your energy alignment call does stand. One of my missions after my birthday month is to really coach more people and have a positive impact in the lives of others, in helping them really become and express their authentic selves. And part of that work is by looking at the shadows, looking at the limiting beliefs and thought patterns that you have in a very nourishing, safe environment. And I'm happy to provide that for you. So, in any case, thank you so much for hanging out with me, loves. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Ta-ta! Hey there, loves. I'm totally looking forward to doing your reading here about your future spouse's love language. So just as a recap, the 5 love languages are acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. So we are going to use these energy oracle cards to help us, let me reset them, to help us discover more about your future spouse's love language. So let's see what we got here. One more shuffle. We have door to personal healing and happiness. Envy. Oh, that's interesting. I feel like we're going to need some clarifiers on that one. 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. Ooh, okay, so what am I seeing here? What's actually coming through for me is words of affirmation, okay? So I'm seeing now part of this envy card is that they tend to get jealous quite easily. They are that jealous type, and so they need that constant reassurance that, you love them, you care for them, and the reasons why as well, okay? I'm seeing here that the words you have to share with them is actually a big key to their healing and their happiness, okay? I'm seeing that they really actually were kind of put down a bit when they were younger. And so they have this complex of like not enoughness. Okay. And the way that they do know that they are enough is through these words of affirmation. Okay. Letting them know what they did that you like, letting them know that you value them, that you cherish them, that you're an important part of their life, letting them know that it matters to you how they're feeling and how they're doing. It matters to you that they know they are loved and cared for. So it's like verbalizing this, okay? It's like a big part of it for them. Um, I'm trying to get a better understanding on the seventh chakra archangel Uriel. The envy card actually kind of sorted itself out for me as we were kind of looking at these readings. But this archangel Uriel, I feel like it has a message for me to pass on to you as well that we need to clarify. And it's so interesting because in one of the other piles, the archangel Uriel, seventh chakra, came through as well, and it wasn't so clear to me what it meant. And maybe this is why, because it showed up in two of the readings after shuffling that have very different messages, you know? Okay, so Archangel Uriel, we have strength and fortitude. Oh my gosh, this card actually came out with the other reading as well. Okay. Page of Coins. And wow, they're very jumpy. So universe is really keen to help me clarify and understand this better. Eight of Wands. Okay, so what do we have here? What are you trying to share about group number three's future spouse's love language? So we already know it's words of affirmation, and we got a little idea of why that is and how it affects them. So I'm sensing here that they want to put down roots. Okay, they have this energy of a bit of like a wanderer type energy. It's like they're seeking something out. They might not physically be wandering, like moving from country to country, place to place, home to home. It's not so much as that, where it's like they're wandering in search of something. That's what I'm getting from this page of coins. They're looking for this foundation. They're looking for something that is strong, that can hold up and stand up to the test of time. I'm sensing that with this page of coins because coins is very stable, it's very secure, it's very long-term kind of energy, right? Like, I mean, think of how long it takes for a mountain to collapse or a rock to become smooth. Or the earth and the land to be shaped. It takes quite a while. And what I'm sensing here is that they're searching for stability, security, that safe home, that safe place for them. They're searching for someone with a lot of strength to uphold, what is it, like their values. Okay, like, so, you know, there's some people who like to talk. They do a lot of talking. They say that they're gonna do this, they say that they're gonna do that, and then they actually don't, right? Or their actions are kind of in contradiction with what they say, right? So maybe some people are like, oh, I really care about the planet and like global warming and all that, yet they don't use reusable bags when they go to the grocery store and they buy a lot of plastic items, right? Like the words don't match up with the actions. And so it really causes a question of like, what are your true values? Who are you really? Okay. And so what I'm getting here is with this chakra energy, it's like this deeper knowing of the truth. All right. That's what they're trying to get at. They're trying to see, do your words match up with your actions? Do your actions support your belief system? Okay, that's really what they're sensing here. So it's like a very, very deep understanding here of the words of affirmation, because I'm getting the sense that they had been lied to a lot, or at least they thought that they were lied to by people. Okay, and that people really disappointed them and let them down. And so that's really big for them, is this words of affirmation, is that you speak the truth, that you do what you're going to say, that you back up your words with action, okay? And vice versa, okay? That they're in alignment, okay? So you can't do something and then say something else, all right? That doesn't really work for them. Oh, wow, my God, these readings have been like so deep and I love it. I'm not all about that superficial stuff. I like going deep with people, which is why I like coaching, because I like to go deep with people on their self-discovery journey, their self-improvement journey, to help them find the areas in which they're hurt, they're struggling, and heal them, and let them go so that you can step into your highest timeline, that highest and best expression of yourself. So that's what I do when I coach people, is I coach them through any pain, trauma, limiting beliefs of the past, so that they can start to create the life that they actually want. They can find that true love connection. They can have success in work and career. They can have that deeper connection with their intuition and spirituality. And that's what I help people do with coaching. And of course, before I continue with the reading, if that's something that you know for a fact that you would like to evolve and grow, any one of those things, that deeper connection with yourself, your authentic nature, and creating the life that you know you deserve, there's a link in the description box below to book an energy alignment call with me, so we can talk this through and see if we're a good match to be working together in a one-to-one setting. So let's find out more about your future spouse, though. We have palm tree, healthy choices, lightning, karmic relationship, and ascending. Ooh, yes. So it looks like your future spouse is also on this very powerful journey. I'm getting the sense that you are on that journey as well, where you're ascending, okay? You're going into that higher frequency. You're letting go of old wounds, trauma, pain, outdated belief systems, and stepping into your true power, just like they are, okay? That's part of their goal. I mean, my gosh, if you know your future spouse, give them the link for my energy alignment session with them as well, because I can definitely help them with this also, okay? And who knows, maybe I'll help you both enough that you have an even more loving, nurturing, nourishing relationship with each other. Hey, I love that. But I will maintain confidentiality, so I won't tell the other person what's going on with their partner without any explicit permission. I do believe in client confidentiality, even amongst and between partners and family members. Anywho, oh my gosh, this is so interesting that this came up. So they're on this journey of really finding their own strength as well. So they love those words of affirmation. They love having it said to them in ways that they are loved, that they are appreciated, that they are valued. But what their mission at this point is to really nourish themselves as well, know their own value, okay? Know how to make these healthy choices for themselves and do what serves their highest and greatest good without needing that reassurance from the people closest to them and the people around them. I'm just also hearing like Leo energy just came through. We have this card with the lion on the back behind this person, and this Leo energy. So what's so interesting about Leo is they're fun, they're playful, they're creative, they have lots of energy, they're really a good time, they're great to be around. But their sense of self-worth comes strongly from how people respond to them, okay? And that people really pat them on the back, praise them, compliment them. That's where they get their strength and their sense of self-worth from. But that's not very healthy, right? That's not a healthy energy dynamic where your sense of self and self-worth comes from other people. That's not the best way to go about it. It has to come from yourself. Trust me, I've learned that lesson in many, many ways, especially as it came to expressing my non binary gender identity and being part of the LGBTQ community and being a minority. I've had to really understand how to build my own sense of self worth and not rely on other people to supply that for me. And so that's also part of the coaching work that I do. If you need to step into that confidence so you can go for that job you want, go for that relationship you desire, book that energy alignment session with me. I'm telling you, I feel this huge calling from the universe to do more one-to-one coaching work, and I'm going to honor that. I'm going to be of service. So you definitely have a karmic relationship with this person, and karmic means past life energy. Okay, that in a past life you did have a connection some way, somehow, and in this lifetime you're continuing that dynamic, and whatever in the past needed to heal will be healed. It could be maybe you were a parent to them in a past life and you weren't the most loving or caring parent, and now this is your chance to really, again, nourish them and support them and be a better relationship to them than you did in a previous life, but this time as a partner, okay, not as a parent and a child. I know past life energies are so wild and crazy cool. I love examining past life relationships and connections. And so, in any case, with this karmic relationship, there's also a lot of learning between the two of you, okay? And lessons that are being taught to the other person that you aren't even aware of you teaching, okay? It's kind of like you're leading by example, okay? Like people are learning from you, particularly your future spouse. They're learning from you by watching your behavior, observing your the way you handle things and the way you communicate things, okay? Oh, interesting. I'm looking at the palm tree card here and it says stability and security. So there you go. That's exactly what they're seeking. Okay. These words of affirmation give them that security and that stability that they need. And once they feel secure, they really can grow. They really can surprise you in shocking ways here. Okay. I'm getting the sense that, this individual, they've spent a lot of their life figuring things out, kind of this up and down roller coaster, depending on how people respond to them and how people treat them, right? If people treat them poorly, then they do poorly. If people treat them well, then my gosh, there is no mountain too high that they can't climb it up and triumph and reach the top. Like the things that they can achieve are astounding once they have that right support, that right environment. And I believe that's true for everybody, but it's particularly true for your future spouse. Because then, once they have that security and stability, they can grow, they can endure, okay? Oh my gosh, I love this. I love this. And I don't remember if I mentioned this already, but with the healthy choices, this is also about them having healthy boundaries, energetic boundaries in particular, okay? Like choosing to be around the right type of people that won't criticize them or judge them or tease them or make fun of them, and not take whatever they say to heart. One of the things that might be helpful for your future spouse to know is whatever opinions people have on you, it's none of your business, okay? If you make it your business, you're giving them the power over your self-worth, over your value, okay? So whatever they think of you, good or bad, none of your business, okay? Oh my gosh. Very, very interesting. I love how all of these readings, literally all of them, have come out with such deep information. Like we're talking about the love language, which, does have a certain amount of depth to it. But with this explanation that we're getting from the cards, the story that the cards are telling us, like, oh my gosh, so insightful. And I hope this actually helps you in your relationship with your future spouse by having a better understanding of them, their past, their needs, their desires and dreams and wishes. Let's find out more about your role with them and their love language? Ooh, the world. So definitely helping them close out a chapter in their life, a chapter again where they were so reliant on the wrong people to give them that affirmation, that confidence within themselves. Oh, bye bye to those people. We have the Six of Swords. Yes, I love this. Three of Cups. Oh my gosh. Beautiful, beautiful. And Four of Wands. Oh my gosh. So definitely this is meant to be. We already saw it with the karmic relationship, but with the Four of Wands, that also to me symbolizes a wedding. Symbolizes a celebration. And I'm seeing here that you and your future spouse will have a lot to celebrate, okay? A lot of achievements together. Now that you come in alignment, you come into union, you both will be thriving so well. And a lot of friendships forming. And even with you and them, like I'm getting the sense that your type of relationship is also like my best friend is also my partner. You know, my best friend is also my husband, wife. My best friend is my spouse, right? I'm really getting that energy from you. Both, actually, the type of relationship you have. What I'm also seeing here is this big transformation with intuition and mindset, okay? Like, we were talking about words of affirmation, which is communication. It's like air energy, as represented here by the Six of Swords as well. We have that air energy. That their mindset, the way they think, is going to change as well, okay? Because again, words have a very powerful effect on them. So if they get like mean things said to them, their thoughts are going to be very self-deprecating and very wounded and very damaging, okay? But if kind, loving words are said to them, then they will have better thoughts about themselves. So there's this shift in their energy to having a greater self-esteem. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is why it's like so important that we say kind words to each other, even in like tough situations. Like you don't have to be a jerk or a butthead when someone does something wrong about it. You know, you can still correct them and help them in a kind way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? Now here with this High Priestess, this energy of intuition, I feel it's like kind of connecting with this seventh chakra, Archangel Uriel. So, as they grow into themselves and identify their true nature, regardless of what other people think or say about them, they're going to be able to connect with their purpose. They're going to be able to connect with their higher calling, why they're here. They're going to be more intuitive in that regard, okay? Why? Because they're going to be more connected to themselves. They're going to be connected to their soul, their spirit, their true essence. You will help them in that process. And again, that's why there's so much success happening in their life, in your life, so much ascension, because you can logically think of how to do things and follow the step-by-step process, but it's this mix of intuition, of trusting your gut instinct, trusting your soul, that is that magical ingredient to like 10x, 100x your success level, okay? And oh, I love this. Oh my gosh, I love this so, so much. So I hope this helps you form a deeper bond and connection and understand your soulmate, your future spouse on a deeper level to build a strong foundation. And of course, connecting with other people, having that soulmate relationship also involves and requires of you to do that self-work, that self-development, that self-improvement. And I'm here to help with that. So if you're ready to call in love, and you can do so by calling in love for self. Book that energy alignment call with me now, and let's get to work on this. Let's get started on this, because there's no time than the present to get started on bringing your dreams into reality. Oh, I love it. Okay, I'll see y'all again soon. Thanks for watching.